My name is Ankit. I am a ML engineering manager at Amazon. I lead the Amazon code personalization team. So everything related to like frequently called together or similar items or anything which you see on Amazon, that is something found by my team. We're talking about this topic, diversity bias in AI. So we all know that AI has a lot of potential in a variety of applications. And why AI systems have potential to dramatically affect the society, it does possess inherent risks. And bias in AI is one of those risks. As people who are building these AI systems may not be representative of the people for whom those systems are built for. And there are different ways in which bias can be introduced. It can be with the data, like how the data is obtained, how the algorithms are designed, how the AI outputs are interpreted. So in all these aspects, there are different places where this bias can be integrated with the AI systems, which the current AI workforce is developing. Now, what is bias in AI? And what is the impact? Why should I be talking about it? So, as you know, that AI has immense potential, but it has major negative consequences for society by amplifying existing prejudices, if not done the right way. And bias can be introduced purposefully or inadvertently into an AI system, or maybe it can just emerge as the application is used by different customers. Can be resulting from the preferences or exclusions in the training data. It can be introduced from how the data is obtained, how the algorithms are designed, or how the AI outputs are interpreted. This image here is a good example of bias in AI. And this is actually taken from a report which is published by researchers from University of Washington and University of Virginia, where they have a semantic role labeling system, and it has learned to identify a person looking as female. And even though in one of those images marked as red, you can see that the person is actually male. And this is one of the examples of the bias in AI, which you're talking about. So, we know that diversity is one of the fundamental properties for the survival of species, populations, as well as organizations. And a diverse AI workforce is made up of people from different races, genders, ethnicities, and ages. And if we ensure that we have a diverse AI workforce, then we are actually decreasing the likelihood that the AI systems which that workforce is creating is biased towards any race, gender, ethnicity, or age. And there are two major dimensions of diversity in AI, the gender diversity and the racial and ethnic diversity. And we know, as a matter of fact, that most of the AI workforce is coming from the researchers from the top universities. So let's see what data we have around the diversity in the AI researchers space, which actually build up the AI workforce like that. So the image in this slide, it is from the AI Index survey in 2020, and it shows the tenure track faculty at CS departments of top universities around the world. And we can see that only 60% of those tenure track faculty members are females. And there's another survey done by Computing Research Association, CRA. This is also from 2020, and it showed that the female graduates of AI PhD programs in North America are less than 18%. The other dimension is racial and ethnic diversity in AI research. And again, quoting the same CRA survey, but from 2019, among the new resident AI PhD graduates, the data which we have shows that we have 45% co-white, 22% they are Asian, 3.2% were Hispanic, and 2.4% are African Americans. And this percentage is changing for the last 10 years, but still the share of African American and Hispanic communities among those PhD graduates is significantly lower, which is like 3.1% or 3.3% respectively. So yeah, this is the diversity which we see in the AI researchers from the top 10% across the world and also in this. So what are the reasons for AI bias? One is insufficient training data. The other thing is, by general human nature, people tend to have some bias. And the data which these models use to train are also generated by humans. So that kind of bias flows into the systems as well. The other thing is debiasing data is exceptionally hard. And debiasing AI models is even more hard. And diversity among AI professionals is not as high as it should be. We have seen it in the previous slide as well, because the researchers build up the workforce. Fairness comes at a cost, and there are not a lot of companies who may be willing to pay that cost. External audits could help, but then there are issues with privacy. And fairness itself is hard to define, and fairness is something which is evolving. It can keep on changing, and what was fair yesterday may not be fair tomorrow. So how do we catch up with that? And these are different reasons for which we see that bias in AI systems. So yeah, now we know that this is a problem which is existing. Now what are the ways to actually fix it? I think the first thing to keep in mind is to actually acknowledge this problem in the AI space. It has been a topic in the recent past, but I think there is just more work which needs to be done in this space for fixing this bias. There are 6 different ways which I have listed down here. It is coming from a survey coming from McKinsey. And these 6 ways are: be aware of the context which has the potential to actually correct the bias, and the context which has the potential to actually have a high risk for creating these biases. So just being aware of the context, acknowledging it, that's the first step. Second, establishing processes and practices to test and mitigate bias in the AI systems. And there are examples of how to do it. Engage in more fact-based conversations with your co-workers about potential biases in the human decisions, whether it be choosing that feature set which we are using for model training, or just the way we are building the data. It can be as simple as that. But I think every decision which is taken for creating those feature sets, for choosing the model, needs to be analyzed from the bias perspective. Then fully explore documents and machines can work together in a better way. Invest more in bias research, make more data available, and adopt like a multidisciplinary approach. And then invest more in diversifying the AI field itself, diversifying the AI workforce. But yeah, the success stories which we have seen in this field encourages me to think in this direction, that what can be done. Some people have, some organizations have already taken some steps and they have seen good improvements in it. So I'm going to share some success stories, and I've put in the quotes from either the CTOs or the heads of those organizations. The first is around review the AI training data, and this is coming from the Director of Digital Marketing at iCash. So they acknowledge this problem, and then they actually have a team of dedicated data scientists who cross-train employees in different departments to understand how AI bias work and the best way to combat that problem. The second one is get direct inputs from customers. This code is coming from the founder of RagSec here. And the way, it's pretty innovative, but the way he has done it is that they basically personally contact customers and vendors by email, phone, get to know about their experience, and once they know the experience, it's easier for them to find issues and then correct it. So, getting direct input from customers, that's another way to tackle the problem of the bias. Use constant monitoring to prevent AI bias. And this is coming from CTO of Prevision.io. They have a 5-part framework for ethical decision making in data and machine learning projects, and that 5 phase comprises of initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closing. And that's how they keep on monitoring whether their AI systems have bias or not. And the last one is check and recheck AI decision making, coming from the SVP of Sugar CRM. And their approach is that the best practice is to enable AI to be prescriptive and always be transparent. And that way, business users will be able to review the application, and those feedback can flow back into the AI system and can be corroborated in those systems. Now the question is, will AI ever be completely unbiased? Well, technically yes. An AI system can be as good as the quality of its input data. If we do the proper data cleaning of training data sets to remove these kind of conscious or unconscious bias on aspects like race, gender, or any ideological concept, we may be able to build an AI system that makes unbiased data-driven decisions. However, in real world, we know that it's humans who are creating these AI systems, and by the nature of bias is inherent in human beings, and it keeps on evolving. So it's difficult to say that it will be solved anytime soon. However, humans are creating this bias data, while humans and human-made algorithms are checking the data to identify and remove biases. So I think I'd like to end this thing with the quote that just acknowledge that bias can exist in your AI systems and take measures to combat that. Thank you. Any questions?
So like as you mentioned, you work in the personalization team, and personalization problems have a lot of bias issues as well. So how you guys are solving the bias problems?
Yeah, so we, first of all, at Amazon, in different teams, they have different processes. But the way in which we are tackling it in our team is that to make sure that we are acknowledging this problem. Whenever we are making the decisions around the feature sets to choose from, the algorithms to choose from, we get this diverse perspective. So like building the AI, a diverse AI workforce, that's like the first step in that direction. And then when we are making those decisions, we try to have like a multidisciplinary approach. Like we have product managers, we have engineering managers, data science managers, data scientists, UX researchers who have done the UX research. So basically getting all of them together and making those decisions. That's one way we are solving it.
But is there any automated way or some kind of auditing process that you guys need to go through that?
Yeah, we do have that.
You guys look at a person profile right now,
yeah, so at least in Amazon, the big company, but I can speak with my team, like it's pretty diverse in that aspect. And this is something which my leadership actually takes care of.